I'm in Shenandoah National Park, and this is the new Old Rag Mountain parking lot. Yep, there's my little red car. And the trail for the Old Rag is up that way, but I'm going to go in the opposite direction today, down this way, and hike up Nicholson Hollow for a few miles. The elevation here is 925 feet. Three-tenths of a mile into my hike. The elevation here is 940 feet. And that's where I came from. You have to hike up to here from the parking area. And hike up until you see this concrete signpost that says Nicholson Hollow. And it's pointing to the right. So we're going to go down here. Now this is private property down here, so you have to stay on the trail. So you come down this man's private driveway until you get to here where you see Nicholson Hollow Trail. Take a right here. The first half mile of this trail is on private property. Please stay on the trail. Dogs must be leashed at all times. Keep out private drive that way. So here we go. We got to cross two river crossings here right off the bat. Broken Back Run and then the Hughes River. Okay, here's the first crossing. This is Broken Back Run. Okay, here's the second crossing. This is the Hughes River. Six-tenths of a mile into my hike. The elevation here is 970 feet. It's a slow ascent. And I think this is a park boundary. I think I'm getting ready to walk into Shenandoah because there's a backcountry sign. And over there next to the river I see a metal sign. I can't quite make out what it says, but I see red blazing there too. So I'm going to mark this spot. I'm pretty sure this is the boundary. If I see something more definitely blazed up here, I'll correct myself. Here's the Hughes River at the park boundary. See that red blazing right there? I took a picture of the fishing regulations too, because it varies from stream to stream. Aw, come on, people. 1 mile into my hike. I'm just climbing through 1,000 feet. And here's a shot of the Hughes River at this elevation. .4 miles into my hike. I'm up to 1,100 feet now. And here's another view of the Hughes River. That's a big old rock right in the middle of the stream, creating a waterfall there. There's kind of a deep pool here. Might be some fishies in there. Oh man, the mosquitoes are everywhere. I see mosquitoes everywhere. .7 miles into my hike. I'm up to 1,190 feet, and I'm going to continue on upstream this way. If you turn left here, you cross over the Hughes River and you can climb Corbin Mountain on the Corbin Mountain Trail over there. We're going to continue on upstream this way. .9 miles into my hike. I'm up to 1,220 feet. And over there, besides the bug crawling on my lens, over there is the first of about 4 pretty nice camping areas down through here. So I'm gonna show you each one of them. One of them, I did an overnight camping trip here probably 10 years ago now. But anyway, I'll show you each one. This one is number 1. Okay, well the trail's out that way, and the river, in the first video, the river was just off to the left. You could probably hear it. I passed by that spot. That's a small little camp spot. And then back here, further back, you'll see a series of rock piles. I see 1, 2, 3, 4. There's probably some more. And then here's the campsite. I'm going to back up because I'm getting ready to walk through some spider webs. Pretty cleared out, pretty nice. So this is campsite number 1. .1 miles into my hike. The elevation here is 1,250 feet. And this is campsite number 2. I'm only going to venture in there a little ways because somebody's using it. They've got a bunch of chairs sitting out, and I see a tent put up over there. The trail is right here, and right over there down the hill just a short distance is the Hughes River. So here's campsite number 2. 2.2 miles into my hike. The elevation here is 1,250 feet. And here's campsite 3. It's a pretty big campsite. You could probably, you could probably set up 2 campsites. One there and another one right here. And then there's the trail heading back out to the main trail. So you can't see this campsite from the main trail, from the Hughes River Trail, but you'll see the little beaten path heading off. So here's campsite number 3. And here's what the Hughes River looks like next to campsite 3. Easy peasy to get to. .3 miles into my hike. The elevation here is 1,270 feet. And this is a small little campsite. Out that way's the trail. And you have to follow the beaten path. You can't see it from the main trail. So sites 3 and 4, you have to just look for the beaten path. But it brings you back here. And here's the beginning of a great big wall. Rock wall. It's kind of interesting. See that? And it just heads on back into the woods that way. And then here's the little camp area right here. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. That's not good. No fires allowed in Shenandoah. Whoa, look at that. More firewood piled up. Not good. You can bring a little camp stove. No open fires, okay? Anyway, this is a nice little spot right here. And I don't know, I can probably, between that tree there and that one over there, I can probably clear out a little bit of that underbrush and do a little hammock camp thing. And then you can sit here and cook your food on your own little camp stove. .4 miles into my hike. The elevation here is 1,270. And this is the turn off to the right. This is the hot, short mountain trail off to the right. I'm going to keep hiking upstream here for a ways before I turn around, and not sure how far I'm going to go, but I'm going to go up a little further. .6 miles into my hike. The elevation here is 1,300 feet. And this is the turn off with the Hannah Run Trail. Turns off to the right. And just for interest there's another rock wall right there. Heading on down that way. The rock wall, there's the Hannah Run Trail. And I think I'm going to follow this up maybe another 1/10 of a mile or so until it crosses the Hughes River. And then I'm going to stop and eat some stuff and drink some water and rest up for the return trip. Still hiking upstream. Just thought I'd show you this stone wall here. I've seen quite a few of them in this area. 3.1 miles into my hike. The elevation here is 1,510 feet. Things are starting to get steep now. And here's my crossing at the Hughes River. I may go just a little bit further on the other side, but I think I might find a place here in the shade, maybe over there somewhere, and sit down and drink some water, eat a little bit of food. There's the downstream side. So I'm going to go across here and just take a quick look, and then I'm going to come back over here and find a spot in the shade. .4 miles into my hike. I'm heading back down to my car now, so I'm starting the hike back, starting to descend. The elevation here is 1,430 feet. And here's another little campsite off the trail. I pushed in off the trail through some brush, and here's another one. And the river's right over there, so plenty of water. You could put a hammock between that tree and that one over there, no problem at all. And out that way is the trail. I marked this one on my GPS. I'm going to call it Nicholson number. I think I call it Nicholson number 6. There's another one off the trail. Here's the trail where I came from. I'm not going to record this one. It's too close to the trail to suit me, but in a pinch, here's another one. Going down the mountain this way. There's a lot of uses for these trekking poles. Here's another one. Go like this ahead of you. I've walked into, except you do it with both hands. Kind of a swirling motion in front of you. Clears out the spider webs. Because there's nothing worse than walking along and the next thing you know you're eating a spider web. And probably the spider along with it. Man, I hate that. Four miles into my hike. The elevation here is 1,270 feet on a steady descent back down to my car. And here's another campsite. I'm going to call this one Nicholson 7 for now. Nice and cleared out. Ruh-roh. Uh-oh, look at that. More naughty people. Out this way's the trail. .6 miles into my hike. I'm down to 1,190 feet. There's where I came from, following the Hughes River downstream, and I'm at the, this is the Corbin Mountain Trail turnoff. Those big rocks there is how you get across the river. And keep heading towards my car. Starting here, this next quarter of a mile or so is pretty much 100% mountain laurel. Here we go. Mountain laurel left and right. It's past the blooming season though, so now it's just all green leaves. Back to my car. Nice hike, and just for the record, I packed out somebody else's trash. Camel, filters, wides. Still a few cigs in there. That's my job, packing out other people's junk. This is a map of today's hike. The quadrangle name is Old Rag Mountain, 1994, and I hiked a couple miles up the Hughes River and back. I started the hike right here. This is the new parking lot for Old Rag Mountain. Now, Old Rag Mountain is down this way. It's one of the most popular hikes in Shenandoah. So this used to be, up until this year, I guess, the Old Rag parking was here, and you would have to walk up this way to get in, like this. But they've closed this, and they've opened up this one, which is closer. When you come in from Nethers, along Route 600, just follow the signs, and it'll direct you right here. So if you're hiking Old Rag, you check in here, and then you'll follow the trails this way towards Old Rag Mountain. I went in the opposite direction, down a private driveway, crossed over Broken Back Run, then crossed over the Hughes River, then continued on private land until I get to here, which is the park boundary. And then I basically just followed the Hughes River upstream along this old fire road all the way up to right here, which is the split with the Hannah Run Trail, went just a little bit further to where it crossed the river. Stopped there, had some lunch and drank some water, and then hiked back to my car. Now, I only showed one campsite right here, but I think if you look at my GPS track, I put them all in. I think I identified about 7 up and down this area here. Some of them are fairly large campsites, some of them are smaller, but they're all pretty nice, and they're all very close to the river, so you could do an overnight backcountry camping in this area, and really, as long as you have water purification, you wouldn't even have to carry your own water, because there's always water flowing in the Hughes River. Now let me show you a little bit about Old Rag Mountain. This is the old parking lot, and here's the new parking lot. Now this one right here is for cars, and there's one here which is for RVs. There's a check-in station here. Now you have to have a day use ticket to hike Old Rag Mountain. Anything inside this pink area, okay, to be inside that area now, you need to have a day use ticket. They're trying to restrict the number of people in this area now. It's gotten so crowded that just ridiculous sometimes trying to hike to the summit. So they're trying to cut it down, especially on weekends, by having the day use tickets. You can buy them online. But the hike I took started here, and I went in the opposite direction. I took this green route up the Hughes River. Ended up being a pretty nice hike. It was 6.1 miles, and the ascent was 792 feet, which is pretty mild amount of ascent. And that was the hike for today.